It's okay to be white. It's okay to be black. It's okay to be straight. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be you. But it's never okay to stop at a yellow light when we both should have made it, bitch!
Well, good evening and welcome to the Big Bad Broadcast here on StrongIsland.com. You can catch us on Roku and Fire Stick, the Strong Island Entertainment app. Don't make me laugh. Watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch TV.
There you go. You made it.
Hey, come on, Twitch. And we have with us the regular group of crazies. We have Mike Grief.
Hey, I hope you don't mind. It's Casual Friday, so I just, threw on whatever there, and here I am. Cash, I'm Cash. Cash. Call me Cash.
Cash. All right, Cash. And we have Craig Yoda Mitchell.
How you doing?
No.
That was pretty scary.
Yeah, really. How'd you like to meet that in the dark? I'd rather meet me in a dark alley than him.
Me too. Me too. I'm used to you. That scared me.
Oh man,
that was like something you don't ever want to see when you're alone.
Homophobia is real.
No, it's not.
Especially if he wears clown music. He probably wears his clown makeup.
Nathan Lane would have went, "Holy shit! What was that?"
Jason.
Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane.
He would have went, "Oh my god, that's gay."
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's so gay.
Oh, you ever see Craig in his clown makeup? Oh my god, he looks like John Wayne Gacy's brother. I mean,
I know that's pretty frightening. I did see that. He showed that picture once.
Yeah.
It was like terrible.
Well, it was made that way, only we reversed the colors.
Oh, you did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't design it. It wasn't me. I don't know. I don't enforce that kind of thing on Halloween.
How many kids in your crawl space?
How many kids in my crawl
space?
He doesn't own a house. That's just his butt. It's crawl space.
Last night is...
You know nothing about me, Mike. It would be an old age home, okay? That's what
last night is Halloween, and we're giving out candy. And we have like 5 houses. We're sitting in my sister's driveway. We're all signed up, and all these little kids are coming. And these little girls who were so cute. I mean, they all like dressed as princesses, and they're very proud about their costumes, And this little girl, I was dressed as a convict. This little girl
dressed as a princess.
This little girl comes up to me and she goes, "How did you get out?" And I go, "Well, you're a pretty little girl." And everyone just starts laughing. They go, "You sound like the biggest pedophile in the world." And then the next kid, I'm trying to get him to come over to get candy. And the mother goes, "Just call him." I go, "What am I supposed to say? You want some candy, little boy?"
That's how you get rid of trick-or-treaters. I just go, I open the door, and they go, "Trick-or-treat." And I just go, "You kids want to come in? Come on in. I'm watching a movie."
You'll be so arrested. You'll be so arrested.
No, what I like to do is say is trick or treat, and I just laugh, smile at them, and I just punch one of them, and I go, "Trick, it's a trick."
So I think
tell your friends not to come to my door. Don't bother me. All right, get the hell out of here.
I think your crawl spaces are suspect, not mine.
I don't know. That's why I have a new pool.
What? You can't hide nothing in a pool, John.
Underneath.
Underneath. Oh,
Under the
underneath.
pool.
There you go.
Under the pool.
Yeah.
Under the pool.
So now they're part of the groundwater now. It's Florida. We know that table is very shallow. What the hell am I talking about?
We don't know. We just let you go and hang yourself on that one. Well, what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today? Well, we were talking about Halloween. I don't know.
I thought we were going to talk about games that people play.
Games that people play. What's that song? Games that people play.
Yeah, games that people. Yeah. Don't we have a guest too? Or
we do have a guest. We have a great guest, a guy who knows more about this than we do.
That's for sure.
And he's got a great podcast, MINDDOG TV.
Yes.
And we were actually all on his podcast, and he's been on ours before. So let's bring him in, Matt Nappo.
Hey, Matt.
All right, Mr. Nappo, welcome, sir.
All the games people play now, every night and every day now, never meaning what they say now, and never saying what they mean. Oh,
There you go.
There you go.
Got a musician.
You know, the opening there, the girl about the yellow light thing. I don't mind people stopping for a yellow light. What really drives me insane is when the light turns green and nobody goes, and you're just sitting there and you just scream, "Come on!"
See, that's why people think New Yorkers are rude, because the second the light turns green, come on, you prick, get the fuck out of my way. You know, because that's what we're not going to wait for people to wake up.
Everybody's on their phones now. They're on their phone. They don't see the green arrow, and they just like hanging out.
And I try to be a little patient. Like, I'll wait 5, 10, 15 seconds, but 30 seconds in, the line still hasn't moved at all. The front guy doesn't move.
That's because they're on their phones.
You wait
the front
10
guy.
seconds. I wouldn't wait 2 seconds. I'm sorry. I live in California now, and even now, it's like I wait 2 seconds, and I'm blowing the horn if you're not moving. And the mistake people make is, they want to turn around and go, give you the finger. But as soon as they see me, they go, "Oh, hey, sorry, how you doing?"
Yeah, Richie Minervini used to do a thing in his act about how when he was in California, he goes, "You put on your directional, and 3 people go, 'Hey, he's getting ready to turn. Slow down.'"
What did you say?
He goes, in New York, you put your directional on. He goes, "Look at this asshole. He's going to cut me off, and he's warning me."
Dude, I got into a fight. With a friend of mine. I'm serious, and it's been ongoing. He says directional is not a word. I go, we use it all the time in New York. The directional. He goes, that's not a word.
What does he call it? An indicator?
No, the blinker or the turn signal.
Next
My grandmother used to
just poke him in the eyes next time. Just poke him in the eyes.
I actually saw a video.
I got to look this up.
I actually saw a video on YouTube, and the woman said, "I swear to God, this is true." She goes, "I feel like the stupidest person in the world, and it's very hard to even admit this."
That would be
She
me.
goes, "I brought my car into the dealership, and I said, the air conditioner's not getting cold." And he said, "Well, you got to put it on recycle so it stays in." And he said, she goes, "What's that?" He goes, "The recycle button, the return button."
Yeah.
So he pointed to the button that has it. She goes, "Oh, my God, I thought that was for U-turns."
Oh,
yeah.
We don't need her driving.
Okay. All right.
She said,
can I get some more heroin, please?
Wait, is she in the Batmobile? What?
She said, "I thought it was like a directional. You put that on if you were making a U-turn."
Yeah, you press that, the parachutes pop out of the back, and you turn around. And
how funny is that? And I think she's going, "I feel so stupid."
Did you look it up, Matt?
Yeah, it's a word. It has several meanings, but of course it has a meaning of your blinker basically in your car.
Yeah,
but that's just one of many meanings of the word. But it is a word, in fact.
My grandmother used to call it a flicker. "Put on your flicker, you freak."
She's back from the 20s, and that's
John. When you started driving, it was all hand signals, right? It was. This is a right, and this is a.
Yeah, but he was on a horse, though.
We were only doing 5 miles an hour, so it didn't really matter.
On a horse. Hold on, let me let the rest of the Amish know I'm turning.
Go build a barn.
So the shine on the top of my head, I'm not used to this. I generally control the lighting in my studio, and I see why Mike wears the hat now, but this little, the sun is coming up.
Just hold your hand like that.
I don't wear it for that. I wear it for so nobody confuses me with Joe Silky, but don't you have your own makeup people?
Yeah, where's your makeup guy, man?
Where's your makeup people, man?
I'm alone here. Well, Rich just came in.
Let's start with, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
What? That's a good question. Right now, I'm working with a motivational coach, speaker, leadership coach. One of these guys working.
I live under the bridge.
Working on a video for him, or a bunch of videos for him.
It's a van down by the river.
Down by the river, under the bridge.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that. I want to be a motivational speaker.
No,
you are motivational.
You would be a good motivational speaker.
You would.
That was an old Stanhope joke when he first started out. He said, I blew a speaker in my car on the way here. It was a motivational speaker.
Nice. It was Paul Pelosi. Thank you. I'm here all week.
Yeah.
All of them.
But so I've had some real issues. This is a trigger thing for me because I've had problems with these people all my life, and I'm very triggered by coaching people who think they got it all figured out and can tell you how to live your life.
Life coaches, right?
Yeah, life coaches, business coaches, leadership coaches, all of it. And I had one scheduled on the show last week, and she engineered and architected the human what was it now? The internal guidance system for humans. And she claimed to have the answer to eternal bliss and stress-free life. And on her website, it said, always know the next right thing to do. And then she didn't show up for my interview.
I got the answer.
That proves her system works because she knew she was in for trouble. And she said, no way, I'm not talking to this.
Eternal bliss. Whenever I hear that word eternal bliss, I think of you ever see that thing? It's like the monkey where they give him the thing for a hospital where he can, every time he presses the button, he gets a shot of morphine.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I have eternal bliss. There we go. It's just, his finger never stops moving.
That's what I love most about your show. I love when you have guests on that I just wait. I just wait for you to just not destroy them, but harpoon their arguments or their stories, especially flat earthers.
Yeah.
I mean, you actually post a video of the professor just tearing apart a flat earther? Or
Professor Dave and Dave Weiss, who's known as Flat Earth Dave. So, he's a cult leader basically at this point. And Dave, Flat Earth Dave, doesn't even believe in Flat Earth. What he does is sell apps to people who believe in Flat Earth, and he pretends to believe in Flat Earth, but he doesn't believe in it at all at this point. But his arguments are all just ridiculous and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I posted one with Professor Dave, who is a former professor at Caltech, I believe, or Cal State one, and he just totally destroyed his argument. But then I had him on with my guest host, Zach, in the morning, and Zach was not prepared. And I told him to be prepared because this guy's going to come with Abbott and Costello math and all this kind of ridiculous arguments.
Abbott and Costello math.
Yeah. I mean,
13s.
Yeah, 13. You know the one. Yeah. So he's full of those kind of arguments, and Zach wasn't prepared. And the guy brought his cult of like 4,000 people live listening in the chat room, devoted to everything Flat Earth. And it's the stupidest hoax on the internet. Even birds aren't real is more reasonable than Flat Earth.
Well, the
birds
story
aren't real, but they're delicious.
Right? What? Birds are real, they're delicious.
But they're delicious.
My daughter had a play on Broadway called This Flat Earth, which was nothing about Flat Earth. And it was about actually a school shooting. And she got every day like 20 and 30 emails saying, thank you for bringing this to Broadway. Oh, no. Thank you for supporting us. And she'd write back, I don't support you. You're out of your mind.
I love your daughter, but boy, she writes a lot of depressing stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
It was actually a very neat play.
Yeah.
So Matt, you seem to thrive like tearing apart the crazies.
I love it.
It's not my intent, but when they get, I basically try to keep an open mind about anything. But you have to draw the line somewhere where people just are unreasonable and just crazy as shit. And like birds aren't real. You're right; they are delicious, but they are not real. And
is that really a thing? Birds aren't real?
Well, the guy he was running that scam for a couple of years, and people were donating, buying merchandise and all this stuff. But he finally did come out on 60 Minutes and admit that it was all a scam.
So you can make money off
and his name was Donald Trump.
Well, now you know why people do it, because you can make money off of this phony crap. So you can make up any weird theory. Rocks are alive. That's my new theory. I'm just going to rocks are alive, and prove me wrong. And they've been around forever. They were the first culture. I'm going to the whole thing. I'm going to raise money off rocks are alive.
Well, you're kind of joking about that, but this is I want to come up with this. I'm jealous of the creativity to come up with a scam that people will send money for. This guy's got 300,000 downloads on his app. It costs $3 for the app and then $11 a month for the service that goes with it. $300,000. He's making some nice change on this.
For the flat Earth guy,
Well,
right?
let's
Yeah.
work together. Let's work together on it. I think if we put our heads together, we can be stupid enough to come up with some weird theory that people would just something so insanely crazy. People go, "That's got to be real. It's too out there."
Yeah. Well, you would think that the crazier it is, people would reject it, but no, I think you just stated it right. The crazier it is, it's so crazy that it's got to be something to it.
We totally live in the age of denial at this point because, we
I
have
deny
pictures.
that, Craig. I deny
There
that.
you go. You're falling right into it. We have pictures from space of the Earth.
No,
they're doctored.
No, NASA's fake. Every space agency is fake. They're all in on this great conspiracy to keep us believing in the globe because it keeps us in fear and doesn't allow you to step into your true power.
Yeah.
This is the answer. I've heard it enough times too.
Anyone who believes the Earth is round believes that birds are real. Come on, you got to be
But if
crazy.
you fly at 40,000 feet, you see the curvature of the Earth.
I'm hung up on this bird thing. Like, what do they say these birds are?
So in this theory was that he spread out there. Now he's admitted that it's all fake. But what he said was in 1959, as Eisenhower was getting to leave office, they realized that they needed some way to keep track of all the people. So they made drones out of birds, and basically they were cameras and transmitters in birds. That's why they sit on wires to recharge. And so it was all about the government knowing everything you do, eavesdropping on you, and all that kind of stuff. That was the theory. And the guy was really good at creating films and stuff, and archival films of stuff that made it seem like there's something to this. But
and even though he came out and he actually debunked it on 60 Minutes, I saw that episode.
Well,
people still believe it. They're like,
people are too smart these days. With all the chips that I got from my vaccines, now I'm too smart. I'm not going to believe these conspiracy theories. My chips are fused into my brain, and now I know the truth.
That's true.
Okay.
But even with like the flat Earth stuff, the part of their thing is Antarctica is the ice wall that holds all of the water in. And nobody's allowed to go to Antarctica. So I basically go online and I say, well, you can book a trip to Antarctica tomorrow and try to walk across Antarctica. And I guess you're going to tell me that the Jew penguins with lasers, space lasers, are going to stop you from walking across Antarctica.
So Antarctica is like the side of a pool.
Right.
Basically. Right.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
But like I said, denial. They deny that. They deny that we landed on the moon. They deny the Holocaust. I mean, all this stuff is out there, despite all the tons of information and evidence. And it's just, it's like, that's why I'm calling it the age of denial. Even certain right wingers who believe in a certain person and believe that it's all conspiracy against him. It's just like people are choosing to believe what they want to believe, despite the plethora of evidence.
Well, I think that's our own fault. Listen, we've been talking about this forever, and I know you've heard the dumbing down of America. How long have we been saying that? We've been saying that for 40 years or more. And so it's not just the saying, it's the truth. That's why people are saying, we've been allowing stupid people, crazy people to think that these weird, it's all true, it's all, reinforcing it and whatever, and not thinking it's serious. And now that it's these huge movements, it's like, wow, we're like, I can't believe, but we've been allowing this shit to take place.
But there's always been conspiracy.
I posted a conspiracy theory about Brendan Walsh about the dumbing down stuff, which was fucking hysterical. He talks about, somewhere like in the 1980s, somewhere around then, they started feeding us all this junk food and, sugar and all, so we get all fat and stuff. And at the same time, when the internet came around, they started pumping porn into, basically homes and stuff. So
thank God.
The worst pornography is easy as making a phone call right now. So he said, what kind of population is easier to control than a bunch of fat, overweight people sitting on a couch or just beat off like 9 times? And
we're talking about me, aren't we? Come on.
Well, yeah, I heard you were an 8-time guy, to be honest with you. If you're a 9-time guy, congratulations. You've been promoted. But
I'm on a couch right now.
How many times?
It's true, though. the sugar thing. You're right. You were saying you feed them all the junk food and all that stuff because sugar is addictive. Sugar is like it's in everything. It's in milk.
And that's why everybody has diabetes and they're making money off that with all the drugs.
Think about it. We're all similar in age. I don't know. I think John and Matt's slightly
within
older.
100 years or so. Sure.
Whatever. The point is, when I went to school, and I'm talking about in the 70s, and you're probably maybe from the whatever. Me and there was like one or two other guys were the only overweight kids in the club. We couldn't know that because they used to make fun of us to no friggin' end. It was me, this other kid, and one other guy was not big, but everyone else was skinny little kids. You go to a classroom today, and every kid is overweight, and there's only 2 or 3 little regular, normal size kids.
Regular kids.
And they're watching porn all day and all night on their phones, in their bedrooms, all this kind of stuff. And it's not just porn. It's not just. It's the most wild, insane things you never heard of. Gangbang bukkake, boot up your ass.
So wait,
stop talking about me, Matt.
Hold on, let me write this down. Boot up the ass.
Boot up the ass. Yes.
We were talking about this on the show a couple of weeks ago. That why is anyone that does porn a porn star? What makes them a star?
Yeah, no.
They're not just. It's like they do one porn. I'm a porn star.
Yeah,
well, that's a good point. Because I interviewed a couple of adult actresses, and that's the way they want it to be referred to as adult actresses, not porn stars. But one who asked to be on the show a couple of weeks ago, who is, I think, a pretty big name in the industry. I'm not sure about that, but she calls herself a porn star, and that was going to be one of my questions. Like, what's her name?
John's Googling her right now.
I'm Googling her right now.
It's Riley something. Riley
Onions. No, I don't know.
Riley, I like that's a great first name.
Big porn star.
I don't remember the last name, but it's not a real name anyway.
Just go Riley girl porn star. You'll get her.
Most jobs, you gotta you get a job. You gotta know somebody to get the job. You gotta work your way up the ladder. I mean. It's freaking porn. You're just born with all the equipment you need. You don't even is there a school to teach you how to do porn, give you lessons, and it's crazy.
Yeah, Riley Reed. Look her up on Twitter because it says atheist porn star, and I was like, why? I'm thinking, why do you consider? Why is atheist up front with you? Like, why is that the most important thing you want people to know about?
I don't know. I've seen her videos and she goes, oh my God. So I don't know if that's true.
No, she goes, oh my ass.
Oh my butt. Oh my butt.
She doesn't believe in God.
Oh my ass.
Yeah,
oh my dog.
The lack of God. The lack of God. Oh, the lack of God.
She's a skinny little thing.
What?
Jesus, did you really
She's
just look her up,
skinny
John?
little thing, yeah.
Wow.
John's looking up Reed Richards, I think. That's what's happening.
Well, that's the thing about porn is, God damn, it's like it doesn't
came
matter
up it came up pornographic star.
You can think of the weirdest friggin' thing you can imagine, type it in, and something will come up. Somebody's done it,
Yeah.
It's like, that comic Sebastian Maniscalco, who I think is really funny.
Yeah,
he says, the internet has ruined the world. He goes, if you were a 40-year-old man and you wanted to dress like a baby, he goes, you dressed like a baby, you went down in your basement and you hope nobody saw you. Now you get on your computer and go, I want to dress like a baby. And you meet at every Wednesday at the Holiday Inn. There's 400 other weirdos that want to dress like a baby.
Well, you know about the furries, right?
Yeah. God.
No, wait, no, I don't. I haven't heard of this.
Oh, God.
Furries are a big thing. I had a DJ on, Avian, I think is his name. He dresses like a bird and he does the DJing. But everybody who comes to see him dresses like a big furry animal. And they're, it's part of a kink thing, but it's also a dance club thing. And I don't know if you've ever had a job dressing like a Santa or something, a costume character when you were young. Those suits are like really, really hot.
Yeah.
Imagine being in a dance club under the lights in a crowded dance club and everybody's dancing with those on. It's gotta stink
I've done Santa. Actually, I did. I've done Santa for the family and stuff. And actually, I played Santa on a show once. That is uncomfortable. I had to die in a Santa suit.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
so imagine being under hot lights with 1,000 people jammed into a club, all dancing like in those suits.
Well, there's also I don't know what they call this, Matt. There's people who put on like a face mask so they look like a dog, and they have
Wow.
they have,
They're
they have,
dogging.
they
They're
have the
dogging.
sound of a dog, and they have sex like that. With
They also have people that
Right.
dress like horses and have these like weird hoofs they wear.
Jeez,
the
and I thought I was the sick one.
You know about
You
I'm
guys
not
know
saying it's
this
sick.
stuff.
I'm just saying whatever.
No, but
turns
you know
on.
about it. The fact that
Yeah.
you know about it and John knows about it tells me something about you.
Yeah. You know about lunars?
Yeah.
What?
No, boy, you're the expert, huh?
Well,
Well,
what?
I had a lunar on my show and got
A
educated
lunar?
about this.
How come we don't get these good guests like this?
Because you're
I
not the
wanted,
mind dog.
I wanted a porn star on for like 2 years already.
Get me a
I was
Luna.
on porn
Get me a-
once.
let's- no, wait,
I-
let's
I
get-
can
what's
get
a
you-
Luna?
I can get you a porn star. Lunars are people who get off. They actually have orgasms by popping balloons.
Oh yeah.
And but the way they
Psycho.
they build their community is they go out and put and people don't even have antennas anymore, so I don't know how to do it. But the way it started is that you go tie balloons on your antenna to let people know you were a lunar if they were driving past your house.
Loon,
Wait,
Looneo.
what is the possible sexual thrill from popping a balloon?
Because you don't know what's going to happen. It's unexpected, and when it happens, it's like a release.
Having
Yeah.
an orgasm is like that. It's unexpected. I never know when it's going to happen.
I have several friends on my Facebook feed who are lunars, and I have one who's a retired male porn star who was actually on Graham Nash doing that once with Cher. I swear.
What do you mean he was on Graham Nash?
Not Graham Nash. I'm sorry, Graham Norton. My mistake.
Oh,
Graham Norton.
Okay.
He was on Graham Norton with Cher.
I was gonna
Yeah,
call
Graham Nash is a big
I'm
lunar.
calling Graham Nash right now, going, "What the hell are you doing?"
Sorry, it's
No.
Graham Norton. But
Treat your lunas well.
so-
Your father's hell.
so I don't get it, but I totally I think it's not offensive, and I'm glad they're into it. You know, they get
Listen,
these big balloons and they squeeze and they blow it up. That pops and they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
What's
that's
wrong
it.
what's wrong with the old fashioned a guy, a girl, a horse? Yeah, I mean,
I knew you
Oh
were
my
going to say
God, it's so
horse. I
sick.
knew you were going to
Horse.
say
The
horse.
horse.
the internet has made people sick. You know what I mean? I think I liked it better when these perversions were just
No.
private little things that you couldn't fulfill unless you went to Mexico.
No, Maniscalco has it right. We've always been sick, but now we can go and gather and
He
share.
goes,
That's what the human mind does. It thinks of sick shit, but it doesn't mean you're supposed to go out
he
and
goes,
fulfill
10
that
he
sickness.
goes, 10 years ago, you want to dress like a baby. You come out of your house, your neighbor looks at you and goes, "Get the fuck out of here. Go back downstairs."
Get the fuck out of here.
How do
Yeah.
you get these? How do you get these guests? Do they come to you?
They come to me. Publicists generally reach out to me. I haven't really put in any effort for getting a guest, except for the morning show where it's comedians, where I actually have to reach out for comedians, and no comedian really wants to get up.
Is that with Governors, the morning show?
Yeah, I'm still on Governors. I haven't gotten any guests from Governors, to be honest with you. That was the plan. And Uncle Vinny's as well. They told me that, we'll get people who are going to be performing there to come on your show and promote it.
And that's
Nope.
right.
Yeah. Well,
Comedians
because
don't
you're right.
want to get
Comedians-
up at
Comedians
9
are up
o'clock.
until 4 or 5 in the morning, and it's hard to
Yeah,
get up at 9
it's
o'clock.
your show's what, at 8 in the morning? Eastern
Right
time?
now, it's 8. The normal time is 9 to 10:30, but since I've
That's
been
not
here,
that early.
I've been doing it.
I've been on radio shows at 9.
Tough it up.
I used to go. Didn't you guys ever go to radio shows when you're at somewhere for a weekend and you go in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, but radio shows, I guess, and you would think the podcasting stuff would be easier because you don't actually have to leave your house with the kind I do and the kind that you guys do. Then guests don't actually have to leave their house necessarily. So it would be easier than going to Howard Stern Studio or BAB or wherever. I'm talking Long Island here, like.
Well, it may be easier, but I think like when you actually have to physically
with
go somewhere
Bob
and then you go somewhere and you're mentally more aware because you have to get up and then you're like in front of these people. It's like comedians always perform better with live on like this. It's always been. I think
I just did that local news when I did my show from my studio.
Yeah.
It was
great.
cool without having to go anywhere.
So I never had. I didn't have a lack of guests. I got lots of guests, and some of them were well known. Some guys you guys would know. I think Mike was on the morning show actually.
yeah.
But I have had some good guests, but it's a lot of work getting them. Whereas the nighttime show, they come to me, and I basically just tell them pick a date, man. Just look on the calendar and pick a date. And then when they get on, I find out that they're flat earthers or they're birds aren't real people. Or
so I think we should get some weirdos.
We
like there's not like
we
this,
are
we're not
three weirdos.
No, but I think we should. I think that's.
I'll tell you what, if you want numbers, you can't do bad by going with the flat earth people. You will get insane traffic numbers and people. But then if you disagree with them at all, forget about it. If you get like more hate than you can handle coming your way.
I don't know.
We'll put Mike in charge of the customer service department.
They'll never find it. They can't find you because they think the Earth is flat. So if you hide where the Earth turns and curves, they'll never
find you. Just go to Antarctica, you're fine.
There you go.
You know, I can tell you this is how big Matt's show is. By the way, you have 2 shows a day. Is that what it is? What like
currently 2. Was 3.
Yeah, you have an afternoon, you have an evening and a morning show, right?
That's 5 days. 5 days a week.
4. Well, the morning show's 5, the evening show's 4. Monday to Thursday, because I'm out with the band on Friday and Saturday, so I don't do shows Friday night.
Yeah, so here's the thing. This is how I know this is how big Matt's is, because we've been on now. This is our 48th episode, and we don't get Matt is being barraged by publicists who right? I see you on Twitter all the time going, stop sending me these friggin' email. What's the story with that? They just see your show and they want to help you promote?
The podcast promoters. Oh my God, there must be a billion of them. There are really a billion of them, seriously. And they want to kind of get you traffic, get you people, and all that stuff. And it's just like, you know what? I grow organically. I'm not going to pay for advertising and all that kind of stuff. Let it just grow, because who needs people that need to be like enticed to come? You want people to be interested in what you're doing. You don't want to have to bait and hook them and say, come and watch a show about stuff that, you come there, and then basically I paid $4, whatever, for one person to come there to watch, and they discover it's about lunars, and they're like, what the fuck is this?
Well, you know your audience, and you know what they're going to find interesting. So or do you just book anyone? You book whatever, you don't care.
Morning shows is comedians and musicians. The evening is generally authors. And the thing is, they have to have something. My driving thing is you have to have something to promote. Don't just come on to bullshit for an hour, but let's talk about what it is that you're doing, so we can. You're interested in it. You have a passion about the subject, so I don't have to work too hard to get stuff out of you. We can talk about you writing the book, what drove you to write the book, your writing process, all that kind of stuff. Right. Makes asking the questions really easy.
So what would you say? What's your passion more? Is it for the show or is it for the music? I mean, like, what do you like? What do you enjoy more? I'm sure it's the music.
I like being able to just be free to speak my mind without. And I luckily I haven't had any intervention from the social media or the big tech giants saying you can't talk about that. But I love the freedom of being able to express myself without listen, Twitter is a really controlled and limiting way to express yourself. Facebook, I've been jailed enough time for saying things, what's on my mind on there. It all gets really frustrating. So basically, if you're just talking, they don't really check out what you're saying too much, and they let you go. And
right, because they got to pay somebody to watch your whole show, and they're not going to do that.
The only positive thing that I can think of right now about Elon Musk taking over Twitter is that I may get my old Twitter account back that got banned for using the C word once. I got banned permanently without any warning. And so if anybody has, I had thousands of followers, and I just lost them.
C-word. What C word would get you banned from Twitter?
Yes.
Circus.
You can't say circus.
Circus. I love the circus.
I called some woman was I used a Mulrooney line.
Did you call her a cant?
Oh, it's because you called it a person that. But
when you remind me, I did. It was John Mulrooney had this thing all the time where you go, you remind me of a word that starts with C, ends with T, and rhymes with. And that's what I did, and I got banned for life.
Oh my God! I got all my friends use that word all the time on Twitter, every day.
It's only okay if you're Australian.
Yeah, they say it like it's like saying good morning.
Or English.
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
That's not even a bad word. Pissed off is worse in England than that.
Really?
I have a girl who follows me, and she's from Norway, maybe Finland, maybe Denmark. One of those. But she uses that every day. Every day she calls somebody else that. But lots of people.
Did you ever hear that joke that Jeselnik guy does? He goes, so I have a friend, I've been friends with him for years. And he goes, like my oldest friend. And he recently got married. And his wife called me and said, I don't want you to hang out with him anymore. And I said, why? And he goes, well, I heard that you're saying some bad things about me and use some bad words. And I'm a reborn Christian. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, does the word start with C and end with T and rhyme with runt? And she goes, of course not. He goes, it wasn't me.
Oh my God.
That's a great joke.
I want to see Matt playing the music. You get that quick end playing music. I want to see that.
Matt is also a musician. So you were the band called the Rockin' 45s.
22 years now. 22
years.
Wow, that's so cool, man.
Well, let's go into the.
Where do you work with the band?
All over, but we in the summertime we're playing a lot of beach venues and stuff like that, outdoor venues on the water. Those are cool. Those are like mini theaters. In the winter months, we're generally bars and restaurants and that kind of stuff. The restaurant work is really interesting because you don't have to ever worry about a packed room. They're always going to be packed. You're always going to have packed audiences, and we do really well in there. And it's early night gigs. You're home by like 11:30, which is strange.
It just seems like what I've seen. It's just like such fun music. Like
did you ever play CPI?
I think people want that for their wedding too.
Check out Matt with the Rockin' 45s in action.
What you say, you tell me it'll be true. Don't talk that way, but you say you never leave me. What the heck? Oh, you better do some listen to me, cause I've got news. I don't need nobody. Oh no, to tell me what to do. Hell no, I don't need no commitment. It's time to go, cause a full-time lover only lives singing the blues. See, a full-time lover gave you nothing but trouble. Trouble I don't need. They break your heart, tear it apart. Always seem to get the best of me. So don't tell me that you love me. Oh no. Don't say that you'll be true. Say it ain't so. Don't say you never leave me. It's time to go. Cause a full-time lover always leaves me singing the blues.
I can't believe how long my hair was then. That was a long time ago.
I know. Now you feel like a hippie, right?
Yeah. The Solari Glory Hour, which was on Madhouse TV, which was on Long Island. They were like one of the early adopters of live streaming television, what we're doing now. But
I could listen to that all day and night. I love that.
I love that kind of music.
I'm going to show my that I'm not very musically well. Is that an original song?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thank you.
I love that.
That's a song I wrote in 1978.
Really?
Wow.
See,
I wouldn't have guessed,
man.
I wouldn't have guessed that was an original. I would have thought that you were just playing somebody else, because that's a song that should have been on the radio. I thought that was the song from Uncle Buck for a minute.
Yeah, no, that was one of our first records with a band called Europa that I put together, 1978, and I was doing a lot of that kind of like Western swing writing. That was like, I guess I was heavily influenced by that stuff at the time. So
they have big swing clubs, like swing dancer clubs, right?
Yeah.
I was going to ask before. Did you ever play that a place it's out in the Hamptons called Canoe Place Inn, CPI?
I've been there. Right?
I definitely played there, but I haven't played. I don't know if it's still in existence, but last time I remember playing out there, probably the early 80s.
80s.
I only asked because I had an incredible. I did a summer there. We played comedy in this room, and then in the outside cafe was Harry Chapin's dad and his band. So I get to hang out with Harry Chapin's dad for a friggin' summer. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool indeed. Now his daughter's kind of big. She's been big here on Long Island for the last 20 years, what I'm saying. But Jen Chapin is doing very well with that stuff. I don't know if she's ever, not going to reach the level her dad got with popularity. Right. Nobody is anymore. If you're not doing, the cookie cutter, radio friendly music, it's really hard to make a living in music now. I mean, Well,
wasn't it always? I mean, it always kind of like if you weren't conforming to what they wanted, they wouldn't play your music on the radio if you didn't have it a certain length and a certain,
Yeah, but people were, even if you were not a radio star and if you were selling records, you were making far more than what you make now. And listen, there's a lot more opportunity for self-publishing and all that stuff. But just to give you an example, last year on Spotify, I did 3 million streams. And I think if I'm not mistaken, the check was for $120.
If
I would have sold 3 million 45 RPM records back in the day, that would have been enough to retire on.
Now I know why you like to interview porn stars, because you're getting fucked left and right.
That's why these guys, they put out their own album, like with a digital download. They do it themselves because they can make so much more money.
Sell it directly from your website. That's what a lot of people are doing, and comedy is going that way too. So,
No, I'm thinking of comics. I mean, there's some pretty big comics that were putting their entire show for $1 digital download.
Yeah, Louis C.K. is doing that.
Well, you know what drives me nuts though? It's like with music, you understand. Like when you see on TikTok or somewhere, and they're doing a cover or they're just pretending they're air guitar. The artist, but now the big thing is they're doing comedy. Like people are standing there doing stand-up material.
Karaoke.
They're doing karaoke comedy. They're not giving credit to the comic. So you're on stage, you're doing your material. Some guy comes up afterwards, hey, you stole that from somebody on TikTok. Oh, I'm fucking gonna kill you.
Who was it? Oh shoot, there was somebody. There's a guy. I can't think of his name. I think his last name.
There is a guy. You're right.
Yeah, no, he's an English guy, and he has a little tape recorder, and he plays music, and he says, like the misheard lyrics. He's hilarious, and a guy went on TikTok and did his exact act.
Yeah,
and I went, dude, you're stealing that. And he went, no, I'm not. I go, you're and I sent him a link to the guy and all that, and he actually deleted the post, but. That happens all the friggin' time.
No, there are people on there lip syncing to comedy albums.
That's
what we're talking about.
Yeah, just lip sync. And Bill Burr, you hear Bill Burr's voice, and you guys just lip sync.
And they're not even given the credit. Like when you do a song, it's like it's a Led Zeppelin song. All right, everyone knows that's Led Zeppelin, even if you don't put on the thing, that's Led. They know it's not you. But see, watching TikTok, people are not that right. They're hearing this guy lip syncing comedy and they're thinking, hey, this guy's a genius. What a great comic. When,
Now, all the TikTokers are going to show up at Mike's house tonight saying, who are you calling not bright?
Hey, they're welcome to come. They may walk up the driveway, but they won't walk back down.
Right. Well, with the pagans, they never fight one-on-one. So I had a similar story to what you were talking about before we went on here about that kind of stuff, because we used to get them all the time as they were our main following when we started out. And with the bands I had before this, especially. And we played a pagan gathering in a hideout in Dix Hills here. It was in the woods, and they built a stage, and it was like their Woodstock thing. And I brought a video camera with me. We were going to be we were headlining the show. It was all day music thing. And we were the last act to go on. Meanwhile, I'm walking around with a camera and just shooting the stuff. And my drummer goes, shoot the guy in the coonskin hat. I had a coonskin hat. And I pointed the camera at him. Next thing I know, I'm getting hit from the behind and somebody's grabbing my camera. And these guys are running around, throwing my expensive video camera around, like playing monkey in the middle with me. And
they're
finally,
wanted.
I had
'Cause they're-
enough. I picked one
Because
guy
they're
up.
all wanted.
I picked him up and I had him in the air like this, and before I know it, I'm surrounded by pagans. Put him down.
Yeah.
And the president of the club at the time was a big fan of the man. He came over and he saved me because I was, and I put him down and I screamed. I said, "None of you guys are willing to fight one-on-one. You're a bunch of pussies. You act like tough guys. Come on."
Yeah.
But the president came over and kind of saved my skin because it was going to be me against like 100 of them. And,
I've always found that it's like, with gangs and clubs and whatever, it's like, it's the truth. It's like, okay, how brave do you have to be when you got 100 guys behind you? But it's like, go face somebody one-on-one. And I'm not saying that all gang and club members and whatever, they are what they are, but I don't know. I've just, especially with biker gangs, I've never been wanted to be a part of any of that kind of stuff because it's like being married. First of all, the big clubs, they take, you have to sign over your bike to some of them. You have to sign over some. I mean, it's like, they take it's more than being married. They take possession of your life.
Yeah. I had another great guest on, a guy who was an FBI agent and a domestic terrorist expert he infiltrated Hell's Angels, and he was part of he was a Hell's Angel while being a Fed. And
is he the guy that's on that documentary? Because it's like you see him, he's always in shadow. He's
not in shadows. No, he's American Patriot or Gangster Patriot or something. His name escapes me at the moment. I'm having a senior moment. But his story was really, really compelling about basically the life, and he's known like murderers and mass murderers who went to prison and basically no regrets about what they were doing. So
because they look at it like the mafia looks at it. It's not it's like they look at themselves as it's like military, that they're doing this in the line of whatever. So it's not murder. They're it's not like whatever. And listen, when they kill each other, who cares? You know what I mean? It's like if you're killing a rival drug dealer or this or that, and the other thing, who gives a damn? It's only when innocent people get caught in the middle that anyone,
Yeah. And a lot of it comes from the military too. It stems from people all those clubs were created in the aftermath of World War II when guys were coming home and bikes were their way of dealing with PTSD or whatever they call it.
That's it. I mean,
I remember during Vietnam, the Hells Angels said, "Just let us bring our bikes and we'll go and fight this war for you."
Well, I tell you, man, I pitched a show. The Sons of, I don't care what anyone, and I've said this to you guys before, the Sons of Anarchy, I created that friggin' show with another guy. We pitched that show at HBO. We pitched it at Showtime, and it was about a guy trying to get out of the lifestyle. It was all of this stuff. They sat us down. They questioned us. So HBO comes back and they say, well, we're not looking for the Sopranos on wheels. You know what I mean? And then like a year later, the FX comes out with the Sons of Anarchy, which was almost exactly what we had pitched.
Well, you talk about guests. You can get Ron Perlman on here to talk about that.
Well, he wouldn't know about any of that back stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I read for one of the main characters on the Sons of Anarchy. I read for the Bobby, the guy who was supposed to be Jewish and an Elvis impersonator. I had that Kurt Sutter and Art Linson. I had to sing a friggin' Elvis song for them in the office. I had them singing backup for me.
Mike is a good impressionist, man. So yeah, Mike, do it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ron Perlman never seemed scary to me, like compared to those other guys.
What?
Never.
Haven't you seen Hellboy?
I'm talking about.
He was scary when he played the lion who lived in the sewers.
I'm saying when he was on Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
On Sons of Anarchy.
Didn't he play a lion that lived in the sewer for some show years ago?
Beauty and the Beast.
There you go.
Lion who lived in the sewer. That's it by the title.
I don't know. Sewer lions.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Sewer.
But what brought that up was because it was like ex-military. The original name when I pitched this thing was the Bastards of Belmore. It was supposed to be from Belmore and whatever. And I had always heard that the Hells Angels, and it's probably not true, but I had heard their original name was the Bastards or something like. But Hells Angels comes from something from the war.
Right.
That was their battalion, right? The Hells Angels.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the movie that Howard Hughes did? Was that
Howard Hughes did what would he did the no,
Was it
no, did
First
he do
Day of
Hell's
the
Angels on
Silent?
Wheels? I don't know.
I
Man,
don't
Craig,
know.
you're old. Holy smokes! With that,
Dude, I'm Howard Hughes back in 1929.
Howard
no?
Hughes. Yeah, I remember the name. Me and Howard.
I thought it was Hell's Angels. It was about dogfighting in World War One. No,
Yes.
am I the only one?
No, you're not the only one.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
you're
'cause
right.
I'm not.
You're right.
Because Matt, we're the same age, so don't say. Although if you put it, look, I'll put you on top. Look, if you who's older? Yeah, I look like I'm 10 years older than Matt. Matt's drinking from the magic fountain somewhere.
Yeah, the magic fountain. That's
The magic
me.
fountain.
Or you're drinking from the cheese fountain.
It's a chocolate fountain.
It's not that Matt looks so great. It's just that you look so bad.
No, I drink from the Vaseline fountain. That's me.
Oh God.
No, at every single one of my gigs, I look around and I say, man, look at all these old people here. And then I realize they're all younger than me.
Well, I gotta tell you, that reminded me of a story. I was online at a Save-On, that's a drugstore out here, with my mom, and my mom was in her mid-70s, and two people ahead of us was Mickey Dolenz. You know,
Mickey.
And I
Nice
pointed
guy.
out to my mom. I go, Mom, look, it's Mickey Dolenz. She goes, oh, and she starts walking towards him. I'm like, Ma. And she goes up and she taps him on the shoulder, and he looks down at her. She was 4'11", and she goes, "You're my favorite monkey." Like that. He goes, "Well, thank you very much." And I kept on thinking that Mickey Dolenz must have meant, holy shit, our fans got old.
Wow. Yeah, and Mickey Dolenz, I heard, was a real prick to some people. He played in at Tanner Park in Copic with his band, but I heard he was really nasty fuck, like acting like he was bigger, more important.
He was on the cruise ship, and he was acting like he was John Lennon.
Yeah.
Hey, you're a fucking monkey. Shut up.
Well, I guess we're not getting him for the show.
No, actually, well, whatever. Our friend Jeff Sherman is good friends with him, but we haven't been able to reach him. So if he ain't doing the show, fuck him.
He's got to be what? He's got to be close to 80, right?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see. He was Circus Boy. You know that?
Yeah.
Who's Circus Boy?
That's in.
I remember that show.
A 1950s TV show.
He had an elephant.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel better about myself. I don't know who Circus Boy is.
Saturday morning, Circus Boy.
Well, like I don't know, Matt. How if you're the same age as Craig? That's what you guys are. What?
I'm a little bit older than him. I think I'm 2 years older than him. Actually.
He's 77, by the way.
No.
Yeah, Mickey Dolenz is 77.
Oh, so I thought you said Matt was 77. I was going, Matt.
No, Matt and I are the same age. I know that.
Oh, all right.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. You told me, didn't you?
I think I'm 2 years older than you. I was born in 59. When were you born?
60.
Okay, I'm only 1 year older than you. Okay.
April 60.
Geez, I'm the baby here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you do like nipples.
63.
Baby Mike, yeah. So you guys were talking about Halloween. I actually this Sunday I have to go prepare for this. My wife just texted me, so I guess I got to go out and get some black shoe polish because I understand that Sunday night we have to turn our cocks black.
Turn our cocks back.
No, yeah. What?
Did you say turn our cocks back or black?
Well, the nights will be longer. So yeah,
is that Sunday night actually?
You guys don't do that? Yeah, it's Sunday night. So
Arizona doesn't do it, but we do. Arizona and Indiana don't do it.
Do what?
Turn your cocks black.
I don't know if you're talking about the same thing here.
Yeah, we are.
Daylight savings. Get your head
Shoe
out
polish. You said turn your cocks black.
You're not going to make your cock black?
Yeah, no, I am, but that's from cleaning out my fireplace. Has
Oh
nothing
my
to do with
god!
shoe polish.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Well, we have about 3 minutes left, guys.
That's all right because my battery on this laptop has about 2 minutes left. So.
Oh, cool. All right.
Well, I'm glad you were here, Matt. Man, you were a lot of fun.
Tell us again when your show is on, so people can hear it. And of course,
we're going back to 9 a.m. for Coffee with the Dog, starting next week, I believe. And then, but that's Eastern time, and the MINDDOGTV is on at 8 p.m. Eastern. Monday through Thursday.
And you always have great guests on, man. And you're always so freaking easy to talk to, man. This hour flew by. It
Thank
really
you.
did.
And I'm on the west. I'm on the West Coast, so it's 3 hours earlier. But anytime, if you need a comic or whatever, man,
Yeah, me too. If you ever
I'll
need
make the
anybody.
effort to. Well, John's on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, but I'd get up early to do your show. I mean, I get up at 5:36 anyway. But
I appreciate that. Well, not so when I go back to 9, you're available. But right now, for the next week and a half or so, I'm doing it at 8, which would be 5 for you. So I'll let you sleep one extra. I'll wait a couple of weeks to call you back.
Absolutely.
John should be fine though. Yeah, he's on the East Coast, same time zone.
Yeah. I won't be back into town until Monday.
as long as you
I'm going to Costa Rica tomorrow for my son's wedding.
Yay!
Wow.
Congratulations.
as long as he can finish before the early bird special, he'll be happy.
All
Now
right.
I wonder, do they turn the clocks back in Costa Rica?
I don't know. I was just thinking I got to fly home Monday morning. This could be like a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the national thing. I don't know. I was hoping they'd do away with that. And you guys are old enough to remember in the 70s when they stopped for a couple
Oh my
of years.
God, I do remember that.
I don't like.
I don't remember anything.
I don't like the
about
changes. Keep the clocks the same all year long. That's
I
what
remember when we went
Give
to
me-
school in 1973 when they did
Yeah.
that. I remember it was like 8:00 in the morning and it was pitch black outside. I remember that.
What are kids were getting hit by tractors, right? Is that why they did it? I don't know.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly.
Natural
You know
selection.
what? That's it.
Wasn't it originally so that farmers could have more hours of daylight?
Yeah, yes, that was what it was for. It wasn't for kids not getting hit by tractors or whatever. Well,
So the farmers
they
wouldn't
like-
hit
That
the
was,
kids with
that
their
was just a
tractors.
bonus. That was just a bonus.
The daylight stays the same. It's just it's always the same amount of time. It's just when it doesn't change. Anyway, okay, it hurt my head.
Thank you for clearing that up, Craig.
I'm always here for you, John.
Not on the flat Earth. On the flat Earth, you get an extra hour no matter what.
That's true. I don't
There
know
you
why.
go.
Because the
Anyway.
sun isn't real. You guys got to look into this stuff.
The sun isn't real. The birds
On
are
the
real.
flat Earth, the sun isn't really a star. It's a light that some being is putting over the glass dome that covers the flat Earth.
Wow.
And he's doing it, and so the whole.
I don't know. I think, Matt, we're going to tune in someday, and you're just going to be going nuts on somebody.
See, that's why we don't have those kind of people, because you can talk to them like you seem to have the ability to separate yourself and talk to these people that are just insane. I would probably just be like, "What are you, a fucking idiot? What's wrong with you? I just want to frick you."
There have been one or two where I did that. The simulation guy, and I know we're out running late, but I had a simulation guy who thought every coincidence that happened, simulation theory. So he thought proof that the license plate on the car in front of him had his daughter's name on it was proof that we're living in a simulation theory. And I just lost it on him. I just, what the fuck is wrong? Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Show me on the doll where they touched you.
Okay, with that, okay, John.
With that, show me on the doll where they touched you. That's what we're gonna leave with.
Yeah, that's good.
Back to the man who has a lot of dolls.
Let's thank our guest Matt Nappo, and you can see him on MINDDOGTV.com.
Thanks, guys.
And it's always fun, and we hope to see you again. And don't
I'll
get
see you
sucked
guys on
into
my
the
show.
flat Earth.
Cool.
Don't get sucked into the flat Earth. I'm going to come on your show as a flat earther. And you can see us on www.thebbbbradio.com. You can see us on
Roku.
And Fire Stick on the Strong Island Entertainment app. Watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch TV, whatever that is. And we are on www.thestrongisland.com.
All right.
And we'll see you next week. I'm off to Costa Rica to my son's wedding. And
See you next week.
And a little surfing.
Ha ha ha!